The Warriors win. Steph Curry gets his fourth championship. Draymond, Clay, and Iguodala get their fourth title, and Steph finally gets his Finals MVP. That elusive Finals MVP that had been getting away from him for his whole career. He finally gets it. They defeat the Celtics 103-90 in Game 6 of the Finals. And there's so many storylines to talk about. Steph Curry getting his Finals MVP. The Wiggins redemption story arc. What a great Finals he had, being an all-star starter. And then just like his career, up and down. After the All-Star, after being a starter from the All-Star, comes back, has a great, amazing playoffs, caps it off with an amazing Finals run. We could talk about Tatum falling apart, having over 100 turnovers in the playoffs. We could talk about Klay Thompson making a comeback, coming back from an Achilles, coming back from the ACL after 2 years of not playing, helping the Warriors win their championship. There's so many storylines, and we'll talk about all of these that I've mentioned. But I just want to say that, as someone that lives in San Francisco, good for the Warrior fans. It's. I mean, as a Laker fan, I'm not too happy, but it was cool. It was cool seeing the parade. It was cool. I'm excited. Hopefully, the Lakers win another title in the next few years, and they're able to have a parade that they missed out on. But it was cool. It was nice seeing the Warriors win. It was all right. It wasn't bad. But I must say that these finals were kind of disappointing. Game 4 was amazing. Steph Curry went off, 43 points, carried that team, tied the series 2-2, back and forth game, went down to the wire. That was great. Game 1 was a blowout. Game 2 was a blowout. I believe Game 3 was like a double-digit point. I think the first 3 games were all double digits. And then Game 4 was super close. Really good game. Game 5 was a super close game, 3/4 of the way. Really good game. And then in the fourth quarter, the Warriors broke away, and it didn't end up being that good of a matchup at the end, or that good of a game at the end. And then Game 6, the Celtics started out real strong. It looked like, okay, they're defending their home court. They're going to force a Game 7. They came out, very fiery, with a lot of heart, with a lot of emotion. It looks like they're going to force a Game 7. And then after that, they just teetered off. Tatum started turning the ball over. Brown started turning the ball over. Marcus Smart wasn't as impactful. It was just, you could tell, at halftime, I think Stephen A. Smith put on the goggles, and he was like, yeah, it's a wrap. I know I picked the Celtics to win this game, but it's a wrap. Let's start the celebrations. The Warriors are going to win. And they did. So overall, I think the finals were kind of disappointing, and the playoffs as a whole were disappointing. I don't think it was the best playoffs or finals. I think last year's finals were better. And, I would have loved to see Giannis in there and the Bucks with a healthy Middleton going up against the Warriors. I think that would have been a better matchup. But I digress. Overall, the Warriors won it. They were the better team. Real amazing storyline for them to come back, get rid of KD, go through the turmoil, get high draft picks, really suck, miss the playoffs, and then to come back all the way and win that championship is just very impressive. Like I said, Steph had a great series. He thoroughly deserves the Finals MVP. There was no one else that you could really give it to. Yeah, Wiggins had a good Finals, but Steph was far and away the best player in that series. He thoroughly deserves that Finals MVP. And, man, he has a lot of silverware this season. Finals MVP. He had the Western Conference MVP. I think it's called the Magic Johnson MVP. He was the All-Star Game MVP. It was just, he has a lot of hardware, and he was rocking all of them during the parade. So good for Steph. Wiggins, this man can play defense now. We always knew that he was a specimen coming out of college. He was like the Maple Jordan. They were giving a lot of comparisons. He played against Kobe his rookie year. He did a fadeaway against Kobe, and all the headlines were going crazy. They were comparing Kobe when he went up against Jordan, and they were putting those clips side by side of Jordan fading away. Kobe fading away on Jordan, and then Wiggins fading away on the late Kobe, and they were putting the clips side by side, and they were just like, he's next up, he's the next one. And although he did become a 20-point scorer, he never became an efficient scorer. He never really played winning basketball. He was a liability on defense. There was a lot to be desired about Wiggins, even though for the most part, the first 5 years of his career, he was a consistent 20-point scorer. There was a lot to be said. So when that trade happened for Wiggins, it was like, what are the Warriors thinking getting this contract? Like, I know Nick Wright is getting a lot of flack for saying that they would never go to the finals after that Wiggins trade. But there was a lot of people, including myself, that were like, dude, what are they doing? Like, why are they getting Wiggins? This guy is not good. He's probably one of the most overpaid players in the league. And for him to turn that around, to play great defense, to really give Tatum fits and like contest every shot, block Tatum like numerous times, force Tatum to travel when he's closing him out and not giving him any space, is just amazing. Wiggins, like, what a finals, man. Like, this guy, I wonder where he's going to go next. I think he's going to cash in. I think he's definitely going to try to get another contract. And we'll see if, I don't think a team will make him a number one, but let's see if maybe he's able to be a number two on the team and see how far they could go. Because this Wiggins, that's, like, you could tell the talent's there. Like, he could score buckets. He could shoot the ball. He's a specimen. He's a big frame. He could pretty much play good defense on anybody because he has the height, he has the length, he's pretty quick. So we'll see if he goes anywhere else. We'll see if the Warriors are able to keep him. But overall, like, I got to give round of applause to Wiggins for buying into the Warriors' way and playing good defense and just being a great player for his role, like being the best he could be for the role that they give him. And that's just amazing. And as far as Tatum, yeah, he's 24 years old, but he's been in the league for 5-6 years. I think he'll learn from it. But I don't know how much more room he has to improve. Yeah, he's 24, but he's been in the league for 6 years. He's a first-team All-NBA. Like, do I see Tatum winning MVP? I don't know. There's a lot of young players. There's Luka. There's Giannis. There's Ja Morant. There's a lot of players. Zion when he comes back. There's a lot of good players. Like, is Tatum ever gonna be better than those guys? Maybe he's probably better than Zion right now, but there's a lot of good talent out there. So, I mean, no knock on Tatum. He's a beast. He had a great playoff run. He was their highest scorer. He was doing a lot of stuff for them. He was getting assists, but he needs to clean up those turnovers and just be more aggressive when the Celtics need him to be. He was a little tentative. He was aggressive when he shouldn't be aggressive. He was tentative when he was supposed to be aggressive. It was just, I don't know. He had very bad finals, very disappointing. Although he's a Celtic, I am a Tatum fan. Like, I do wish him well in the league. Obviously, I don't wish him a championship because I'm a Laker fan, so that would be dumb for me to do. But yeah, I think he's gonna be fine. He has the potential to be a top 7, top 8 player. If he's not there already, he's probably like a top 10, top 12 player right now. But I think it was jokes. It was funny to see the internet is undefeated and everyone's gonna get it in the internet. Everyone's gonna get, catch a stray and get some slack. I think those memes are funny, and I think Tatum deleted one of his socials. Hopefully he's doing all right. Hopefully, he took it in stride. He took it in the chin, and he's just getting ready for that for next year. Because, like I said, he's 24. He'll definitely get better, and I feel like he'll definitely learn from this. But disappointing series from Tatum nonetheless. And to wrap it up, Klay Thompson gets his 4th title after missing 2 years. Like, that's crazy, man. When I used to play soccer back in the day, I used to suffer from a lot of injuries too. Like, my ankles were weak. My knees always gave me trouble. And, I was just missing games left and right, like for little stuff, my heel or something. And it was a bitch. It was sad seeing your teammates out there putting in the effort and you're just hurt. Like, I'm like 2 weeks away from coming back or whatever. It was always a bitch to be on the sidelines and not be able to see or help your team out. So, and that's just the youth level, like playing club. This is the NBA. This is like professionals. You're used to winning championships. You have 3 rings when this happened to Klay. Like, I can only imagine how hard that must have been. And now he's all the way back. I think he's going to be better next year. He's going to have his feet under him. He's going to have a whole offseason to really, get back to the old Klay Thompson. But, man, that was a great story. During the parade, I almost got into Klay Thompson's bus. That would have been great if I was able to sneak in. I got two feet into their bus, but they kicked me out. So it is what it is. It was nice to see Klay Thompson. He's probably my favorite Warrior if I had to pick one. But overall, the Warriors thoroughly deserve this championship. And it's just a great storyline to see the Warriors win again. Like I said, I'm not happy that they won as a Laker fans, but I could appreciate taking a step back, just being a regular, just basketball fan, not a Laker fan, I could appreciate what the Warriors have done and how they were able to bounce back from, having a top 5 pick to winning another championship. And shout out to Steph for being Finals MVP and carrying that team when they needed to get carried. And shout out to the role players for really stepping up, like Game 5, Game 6. They really showed up. After a lot of people were saying Steph had no help, like the role players definitely showed up Game 5 and 6 to close that series out. But like I said, shout out to the Warriors for their, what is it? How many titles they got now? They got 7 titles now. Shout out to the Warriors for their 7th title.